y'all, it's Cat from Cat Southern Charms. Today we're gonna be doing a Zen piece. I don't know about you, I don't know, tell me in comments, what is your Zen? Do you have a special location you go to? Do you go hide in your closet to get away from kids and your husband and all that? Do you go sit in a church by yourself and just have quiet time? Do you read a book? What do you do? Tell me in comments, what is your Zen? I grew up in Pensacola, and of course, I'm biased, we have the prettiest beaches. If you've never been, their beaches are like, the sand is like white sugar. It's so white. But that was my Zen. I would go sit at the beach, listen to the waves wash in and wash out, feel the sand. It was just, that's where I went and sat, meditated, just kind of re-centered myself, cleared my head. You know, make those hard decisions. We all have that one place or that one thing that we do that helps us, right? So what we're gonna do is we are doing a round. It can either be wall decor, it can be a tray, we can add some handles, and it can be a serving tray. So y'all are gonna decide. Tell me in comments, should this be wall decor or should I turn it into a tray? But I can tell you what we are gonna do. First of all, we use my favorite, the chrome powders by Let's Resin, and their chameleon powders. Y'all, I love it. And these down here, this is the chameleon. You see when I move it, it changes colors. We also have some of the holographic glitters. See that, how beautiful those are? So it's a mixture of chameleon powder, chrome powders, and holographic glitters. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna use the pre-colored Let's Resin black, and we're gonna fill our tray with black to really let these colors pop. So, of course, I have to grab my handy dandy gloves. We're gonna get that done. And I have a 16-ounce disposable cup because, you know, a lot of people ask, how do I know how much resin to put in here or to use for a project? Well, I use, and I've told you guys this before, it's called the Omni, O-M-N-I Resin Calculator. It's that, and I'll put it up here so you can see what it looks like. Just search it in your web search and bookmark it. That's what I do. So anytime I need to get a guesstimate or know how much resin I need for a project, I go to that site, and it's very simple, y'all. You plug in all your measurements. How thick is it? I went with a 1/4 inch. And, you know, is it a rectangle shape? Is it a circular shape? This obviously is circle, it's 10.5 inches. And I plugged all the measurements in, and it tells me I need 12 ounces of resin to fill this. So I have my 16-ounce cup, and y'all know I usually tell you, don't mix resin in big batches. Who can tell me why? Hurry, run down in comments while I'm getting everything out, and tell me why do I say don't mix in big batches. I have my, my scale, which is just a little kitchen scale, and it's set to fluid ounces, and this doesn't want to open. Oh, come on, really. There we go. Whew. That did not want to come open. And this is why I wipe around the top of my containers, and you can see in here, apparently I didn't do that. So we need 12 ounces, so we need 6 of A, 6 of B. I'm gonna do that. And the reason we don't pour big batches of resin is because it can flash cure, and we don't want that. All right, so this time I have my baby wipe. I'm wiping off this. So next time I shouldn't have as much problem opening this. So that's part B. And part A is already colored black. See that? And people are like, how do you know? Since it's colored, how do you know if it's mixed completely? Well, you still would have streaking because this is clear and you're gonna mix your black in. So 2 ways to know it's completely mixed. You don't have any clear areas or little spots, right? And honestly, if you've mixed enough resin, you know by stirring the consistency. Again, I did not wipe this lid off. So we're gonna take this to 12, and we're gonna mix this up and pour it, and that's it. And I like to do this at night because then we're gonna wipe this off again. I'm gonna clean around the lip. If I pour my resin at night, guess what, y'all? I'm sleeping. I'm not in here like, haha, I wonder if it's ready yet. Yeah. Oh, I left my calling card. You have my fingerprint now. So, if I pour at night, and see how this is separated, y'all? I can't really tilt a lot of this, but you can see. I'm gonna move this out of the way and get my stick, and I'm gonna start stirring. And see how this is separated? You'll know that it's ready by the consistency, because right now there's resistance. When I'm stirring, I can feel the resistance where it's not combined. And I'm gonna scrape my sides down when I'm stirring. And remember, I told y'all this is not a timed event at all. It's not timed. You stir until it's all completely combined. And that can take 2 minutes, it can take 5 minutes, it can take 6 or 7 minutes. There's just no set time. So I wipe my stick down because I want to get all of this incorporated. I don't want any weak areas that won't cure. So I wipe my stick down at least twice while I'm stirring. And like I said, I'm always scraping my sides and the bottom down. We want to make sure that everything gets incorporated. Or, as I have compared for you guys, curing resin is like dirty dancing. So when we mix this up, we want to make sure everybody has a dance partner. That's what totally being combined means. We have molecules from A, molecules from B. They find their dance partner, and the friction begins. And that's why we don't leave so many dancers crammed in one place, because that room will get too hot. Remember the prom analogy? That if they're all crammed into the cafeteria or the gym, that one, chaperones can't chaperone all these people crammed in one area, right? So it's a lot easier to watch these kids if we separate them out, 20 to the library, 20 to the cafeteria. You know, it's much easier to maintain control over a bunch of teenagers dancing. You know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. You went to prom. You were a teenager one time in high school at those dances. Alright, so I think that's the third time I scraped my stick off, but that's alright. I'm going to do it again. And then I'm just going to start pouring. Because like I told you guys, you don't want to leave this much resin in one cup like this for very long. I'm going to set my stick over here and I'll wipe it in a minute. But I really want to start pouring this. There we go. We're going to see if Omni was correct. And remember, resin spreads out on its own. It's going to fill in those gaps. Just going to let it drip, drip, drip. Fill in these areas. I'm going to take my spatula. I'm going to scrape this down so we get all these areas covered. Want to make sure that everything is covered and incorporated. There we go. Y'all, that's good. That is very good. Perfect. So that is using Omni Resin Calculator, simply inputting my measurements. And if you don't have to have a tape measure, if you go to the site where you bought your mold at, if you look at the pictures, most all of them have a picture that give you the measurements. So you don't have to guess, or you don't have to try to read a tape measure on your own, that can be a challenge, right? I'm gonna throw this in my handy dandy trash that I keep right here on my workstation. There we go with that. And then I'll wipe my stick off. And that's it, y'all. That's all it is to it. What did I tell you? No fire on silicone. No, no, no. So I have my isopropyl alcohol. I'm gonna spray over this. I'm going to bubble sit for an hour, but I'm gonna take my tool and go around the edges because I don't want any bubbles clinging to my mold around these edges. So I'm just going around my edges like so, releasing any bubbles that may want to hold on. And I just clean off my tool and it's ready to use again. So this is why I always say, make sure you keep baby wipes handy. It is so much easier to wipe your tools down as soon as you're done, put them to the side, you're ready to use it again, instead of letting it sit and stuff dry. And then, you know, you have to go back and let it soak in vinegar. We don't want that, right? And I'm just gonna go under these and just do a little tap to get any bubbles that wanna hang on to release, okay? That's all I did there. And I'm going to bubble sit for the next hour. And that's it, y'all. That's how simple this is. Remove my gloves. All done. Throw those away. We're finished. Now we let it sit. We let it cure. When this is done, I will show you the finished project. And make sure you get your votes in. I uploaded a short. And by the time y'all see this finished, what you vote for, we'll see if you were correct. If this ends up being a wall decor, or if it ends up being a tray. But we'll make that determination once we get there. But that's all for now, y'all. Make sure that you give this a real quick thumbs up so other artists can find us and maybe this sparks some creation in them or gives them an idea of something to do. Anyway, I'll be right back. We're gonna see how this turns out. I will see you in a few. So let's go around. And this will have to lay flat to finish curing. But let's show you what we have. There you go. How pretty is that, y'all? Look at all the different colors and the effects. You see that? Where we use the chameleon powders. And we have the holographic glitters. And we have the chrome. This is very pliable. So it's gonna have to lay flat to finish curing. Now, I'm gonna let it cure flat so we don't have any, you know, if you wanted to form, see how gravity is pulling this down? Y'all see that? Gravity is making this bend. See how it's falling down? Gravity is pulling it down. So when I talk to you guys about doing your bowls and things like that that you've been making, this is why I say to set your piece over a bowl and let gravity do the work naturally instead of putting it inside a bowl and having to form it. To me, the simpler the better. Just let gravity be your friend and do all the work for you. See, I put it on my hand and it starts bending because it's being pulled down by gravity. So I'm gonna let this sit and do its thing. And if I want to make this wall art, I can do that just like it is. Add attachments on the back so it could be hung appropriately. This is very thin. As you can see, it's only 1/4 of an inch thick. So it's not heavy. You don't have to worry about something that's 1/2 an inch or 3/4 of an inch. it would be so, so heavy. I don't have to worry about that with this piece. So it will be okay to go on a wall just like it is. If I wanted to, I could add some decals to this. I can add some charms. I have some gold charms that are dolphins and different little charms that I got to make jewelry with, that I can clip the eye out of that metal piece and just use a little charm. But I really don't want to do this to this piece. I want it to just cure like it is and let that abstract beauty be on its own. Now, if I wanted to create a tray with this, I simply can pour a clear coat over this because this is ridged, because our mold is ridged. So we have open areas that I could fill in with clear resin and make it one smooth piece, but also that will allow me to put handles. And here's a pro tip for you. You don't have to have traditional tray handles. You can use knobs that you would put on a dresser, that you would put on cabinet, any pulls, anything like that you can make into your tray handles. It doesn't have to just be specifically tray handles. So look for those knobs that screw on cabinet doors or go on the drawer face to open a drawer with. Those can easily serve as tray holders too. So that's your pro tip. This is how we did this. We used the black background because it really makes these colors vibrant and pop even more. If we used a white background with this technique, it would be more pastel-y colors. So if you're looking for a pastel effect, I suggest you use a white background and you'll get your desired effect that way. If you really want to keep the vibrancy and the brightness of your colors that you brushed on, use a dark. And it doesn't have to be black. It can be purple. It can be a dark navy blue. You know, just a darker color adds the background needed to really make this pop. So there you go, you guys. And I'm waiting to decide if I want to still do this as a wall piece or if I want to make it a tray. So you still have time to vote because I haven't made that decision. Leave me a comment below. Do you love this technique? Were you surprised that it was so easy using a wave mold? You just simply paint your colors with a brush on your mica colors, and this is the effect you get. Are you shocked at that? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I use this effect a lot. I think here's a base where I did that. I brushed colors in and then put some veining in with a silver metallic marker. So you can create a lot of different effects just by brushing mica in various forms. Mica chrome, chameleon micas, regular micas, holographic glitters that we have in here too, to add that little sparkle for the ocean. But that's all for this one, you guys. Leave me a comment and tell me, are you shocked how well this turned out? Is this something that you're gonna do yourself? Everything that I used in this, I will link in the description. So you simply open the description, click the link. It's going to take you right to the same mold that I used for this. This is 10.5 inches across, 1/4 inch deep. So you don't have to worry about weight with this one. But like I said, leave your piece laying flat, let it completely cure. I'm going to let this lay flat probably for a good 7 to 14 days. I want to give it all the time to set up and cure so I don't run into issues later. But that's it, guys. You know what to do. Give this a thumbs up so other artists can find us and maybe learn some new ideas, new tips, new tricks from doing this beautiful piece. Subscribe to the channel. That doesn't cost you anything. That's free. A free way to support my channel and help others see and learn tips and tricks that we use for resin. And share this with another artist you knew who might be struggling with maybe ideas, or they wanted to try something this size and they were scared to do it. Just show them this. It'll be very helpful. But you guys, I appreciate you. Thank you to all of my paid members. I have something special coming for you guys, a members only video that I'm gonna throw a lot of tips and tricks into just for you. You deserve something special. As I've said before, my channel is not sponsored. I put out the money for everything I use to teach you guys, and my members, through their minimal financial support, help me to get these molds and to keep resin on board so I can show you guys these techniques and walk you through how to do them step by step. But you guys know, I hope that you've learned something, and I hope that you have a great week. And until next time, y'all know the drill. Happy arting. Ta-ta for now.